So in 3.2, the probability doing the multiplication, using the multiplication rule. Again, as we mentioned, this is the AND rule. So again, remember, basic probability that we're dealing with classical probability. The probability of an event happening is the number of outcomes in that event. So this is our desired outcomes divided by the total outcomes in our sample space that we're dealing with. So those are the main things to identify as we do probability. Now, as far as the multiplication rule goes, or the AND rule, so if we have probability of A and B happening, if they're independent of each other, that's going to be the probability of A times the probability of B. But there's also another one, the probability of A and B. This is going to be the probability of A times the probability of B, given that A has actually already happened. So that's our vocabulary there. That's our symbols for that communication. So question 16 says, in a sample of 1,100 US adults, 170 think most celebrities are good role models. So 2 US adults are selected from the sample space without replacement. Completes parts A through C then. So part A says, find the probability that both adults think most celebrities are good role models. Okay. So what we're picking up on is we're going to do 2 events. We're going to choose 2 adults. And what we're trying to figure out is when we choose those 2 adults, what's the probability that both of them think that celebrities are good role models? And you can already kind of see that it's not a likely event because 170 out of 1,100 think that celebrities are good role models. So that's not a likely event already. So it's going to be a pretty small probability, it looks like. So starting out with the first person, notice that there's 170 people that think celebrities are good role models. So that's our event there. And also our sample space is this 1,100 adults. But notice how we have to choose another adult. But notice how once we choose one of these, our next probability is going to be dependent upon that. So notice how if we chose a celebrity who thinks celebrities are good role models, that leaves us with 169 celebrities at this point. Also, our sample space drops by 1. So this is going to become then 1,099 if I drop down from there. So if I put these 2 probabilities together, that'll give us our overall probability. Now we'll use parentheses again here. So 170 divided by 1,100. And then I'm going to multiply that by the other probability, 169 divided by 1,099. So we end up with this 0.023. I think they're going to round to 3 decimal places. So 0.023, that 7 is going to make that 3 move up to a 4. So 0.024. So notice that this is going to be like 2.4%. As I said, I wasn't expecting a really good high probability on that. It already kind of sounded like it's going to be unlikely. So part B says find the probability that neither adults think celebrities are good role models. So the neither side is this is the flip side. So if 170 think celebrities are good role models, if we subtract that from 1,100, so 1,100, if we subtract the 170, that gives us 930, our number there. That 930 represents those who don't think celebrities are good role models. So if I do my probabilities, we're going to pick 2 people. There's 930 in our sample space that don't think, and then there's 1,100 adults in our sample space. So it would be our first adult. But also we're choosing another adult that doesn't think celebrities are good role models. So if we chose out of the sample space, that's going to leave me 929 that don't think. And notice how if we drop one there, because we chose a person, that's going to be down to 1,099 for that second one. So if we do that math, so this 930 divided by the 1100, and if we multiply that by the 929 divided by the 1099, that gives us our probability. So we're picking up on 0.715. So 0.715, don't think celebrities are good role models. So this next thing is find the probability that at least one of the two adults thinks most celebrities are good role models. So what we pick up on is at least one is going to be the complement of none. So what we pick up on is all I got to do here is go 1 minus the complement. So we do 0.715 here because this means none, and the opposite of none means at least one. So if we subtract those two things, so 1 minus the 0.715, that's going to give me then this 0.285. So we're getting a 0.285 think that at least one adult thinks, at least one of the two adults thinks celebrities are good role models. So we have that as our probability. Alrighty. So hopefully that may help you kind of think through some of these problems involving the multiplication rule.